unanimous sportswear. Sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Welcome to Drop the Puck. This is the third game in our series this season, and we're here at the Den for the battle between the Deeside Dragons and Altrincham Aces.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be a really good battle, this one, Gary. Obviously, you've got the Dragons currently sitting in 6th place there in the Laidler Conference, and the Altrincham Aces sat in 7th. Both teams quite capable of taking the points off each other tonight, so it's going to be one of them dirty trench war battles, really hard-nosed hockey I think we're going to see.
Well, we're usually used to watching the Aces be at the top of the table, but they've found form lately a little difficult, as they're on a 3-game losing streak, whereas the Dragons, on the other hand, are currently on a 3-game winning streak. They're 2-game winning streak, in fact, where their last game, where they lost, was against the Sheffield Senators, which was on our last game of Drop the Puck. But you've got to fancy them tonight because they've already taken the scalps of Telford Tigers the week before, and last night against the Hull Jets, who are currently number 2.
Yeah, so obviously the Dragons finding this form of late, and you know, I think it's about time that they started showing what they're actually made of, because the Dragons, when they put their heads down, play really good hockey. We spoke to James Parsons previously on the other episodes, and he said, you know, it's just waiting for them to click, there's something about it. And slowly we're seeing that, you know, the win against Telford, the big road win against the Jets last night, and hopefully they're going to carry that momentum through today against the Aces, on the other hand, who also suffered a defeat to the hands of the Senators last night. So they're, you know, they're on the back end of a tough battle there, 6-3 I believe they lost. So whether that's going to play into effect tonight, I'm not too sure.
Well, Aces needing much needed points to try and keep in with the running. Got runaway leaders, Witness Wild, of course, sitting at the top. Dragons sitting mid-table, got to fancy trying to win some games because they've already played 13 coming into tonight, and you've got to think a win's a must if they want to go into that Christmas break, which we know can be dreadful.
Yeah, so you know, the Dragons, one of the teams that have played the most games in the Laidler so far. So a couple of the teams have got games in hand on them, and I think that's what the Aces need to get their head round, is they can walk away out of the Den tonight with whatever points they bag, because they've always got that opportunity to claw them back with the spare games. Saying that though, if the Dragons do a number on them tonight, it could upset the rhythm and offset them before that Christmas break.
Well, as you've already said, they lost 6-3 last night against the Sheffield Senators. A tough game for them, but you've got to think that they might fancy their chances against the team that's just sitting above them, who's played more games. Who do you fancy from the Aces to start putting some points on the board?
I think one of the big ones you're going to look to is Jake Nurse. Now, Jake, captain obviously of the Altrincham Aces, is quite a substantial player in the form of not only has he iced for every game so far for them, but he's the one they're leading assister as well. I think it's 13 assists to his name currently. So, you know, the guy's always putting the puck there for one of his teammates to finish. One of the crucial things, though, is tonight that Jacob Pavlik, the import from the Aces, isn't icing. I found that out before on the roster, and he's been the leading scorer for the Aces. So whether that's going to play into effect, only, you know, time will tell.
Well, as you say, only time will tell. A vital miss maybe, but who knows, might give somebody else the opportunity. On the other side of the puck, you've got the Dragons. James Parsons still sitting at the top of the table for scoring. Matthew Wainwright's their second highest scorer, ranked number 10. You've got to fancy them, but there's some other players out there I like as well, but certainly Wainwright's putting himself about the ice at the moment.
I have to agree with you there. Matt Wainwright, he's quite a big defensive man, but he can move once that lad gets his feet going. And I think one thing this season we've got to look at with Drop the Puck. In seasons past, you've heard us talk about that formidable Widnes forward line of Barron, Brittle and Manning. Well, I'm going to change things up and to flip the script here. I want you all to get behind this new line of Parsons, Furnival and Keating, because right now those guys are running wild all over the ice. They've got 23 goals to their name and 23 points between them. And the best part is they're really tight on the penalties as well. Okay, admittedly they've had a few slip-ups, and Deeside, I believe, are the leading penalty takers at the moment. But amongst those three guys, you know, when they're on the ice, things happen, and I think we're going to see that tonight.
Well, you've already hit the nail on the head there. Discipline's always been a big thing with Deeside, whether or not that could play a part in tonight's game. So I think it's time to go down, get some of the action with the commentary team of myself and Ben. And with that, it's time to drop the puck.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 100 years ago today, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the guns across Europe fell silent. Every year, we remember those no longer with us, not only from the Great War, but those wars and conflicts since, and more recently in Iraq and Afghanistan. Please be upstanding together with both the Dragons and the Aces as we remember and pay our respects to those who sacrificed all of their tomorrows for our today.
Of course, a minute's silence there being witnessed by all the fans, players and coaches from both teams. In accordance with Remembrance Sunday, Ben, of course, Armistice Day today, November the 11th, a time to reflect and a time to remember.
Indeed, Gary, lest we forget those that sacrificed themselves. And as we heard before, they're tomorrow's for our today. And again, just showing how much the hockey family can come together when needed.
Well, one thing is, a lot of people gave their lives in battle, but we've got one battle here today that we mustn't forget either. This is the Deeside Dragons, of course, against Altrincham Aces here. And Ben, as we said in the build-up before, this is certainly a tasty one in my opinion, because these are two close teams who know each other well.
Yeah, don't be stealing my lines, Gary. But no, you are right. We've got the just above bottom Dragons sitting 7th, I think, at the moment, versus the Altrincham Aces.
No, Dragons are 6th, Altrincham are 7th going into today.
So yeah, like you say, they're literally one place in at the moment in the tables. They're both really good developing teams this season. We've seen great things from both clubs. I really think this is going to be a neutral fans' paradise today. We're going to see some excellent hockey.
Well, of course, our officials today are Walker, Trustwell and Neiman. Hopefully they'll keep things in order. But of course, the one thing we can't forget is it's a sport that's played by both women and men in ice hockey, and needless to say, Altrincham Aces, who have they got between the pipes?
Yeah, so between the pipes now for the Aces is going to be Samantha Bolwell. She's going to take up the first shift by the look of it, and she's going to be faced down by a lot of pressure. Her counterpart, meantime, for the Dragons on the opposite end, that's going to be the familiar face of Jonah Armstrong. Armstrong having a really good season so far for the Dragons.
Yeah, Jonah proved himself last year, and he's had a bit of experience elsewhere, of course. But back with the Dragons now, and with that, it's time to drop the puck.
As we get this first period underway, it's a face-off win straight away by the Aces. They choosing to go D to D. Play it up through the middle, looking for an open man. High man found. In the shape of Dunfordale's shot. Great leg pad save there, and it's Dragons under pressure. Straight off the bat. Trying to clear out the zone. Keating ties up out in front of the Altrincham bench to clear it away. Morgan now for the Dragons. Looks up, tries to find Wainwright, uses the boards. Can't clear it out, Furnival's pushing it through. It's received again by the Aces defence. Dragons safely pass that onto the stick of Matt Wainwright, just going to slow things down, try and gain control of the game as Parsons near side, tries to dump it off to Furnival, has to keep himself on side. Again, Aces doing enough to force the Dragons back. Quick line change there for the Aces. Dragons try and capitalise, Furnival can't quite hook that in. Lovell in control, finds open teammate far side in front of the Dragons bench, using the boards again. Picked up quickly there by Bain. Puck trickles through. Greaves. Blocked there off the leg pads of Lovell. Picked up by Dillon, Jack Dillon. He's going to feed that forward. Easily picked up there by Ryan Jones. Jones feeds Parry on the against the boards again. Great forward check pressure coming from the Aces. And Dean Holland, just a little bit of a shove there from
Parry's just giving a little shove there to Holland, I think.
So Jordan Holland, sorry, that's just going to keep him on his toes. And Wigglesworth now as the second line.
Oh,
the Dragons out. Wigglesworth manages to get back on it, and Bolwell's forced to scoot that away quickly with the stick.
Well, Wigglesworth was quick on the draw there. He quickly picked up that loose puck, but unfortunately nobody there to assist him.
Puck works its way around to Jones. Jones behind the Aces net. Pressure coming from Dillon. Jones can't quite grasp it, and Aces do enough to clear it down.
Well, I must say, Ben, ice isn't looking so good today.
The ice looking a bit patchy in parts, and we've spoken about the ice in the ring several times before around the NIHL. Obviously, most famously, the hashtag Blackburn Hump. Oh. Or Blackburn Hill, as they call it.
Well, rumour has it there's a whale buried underneath there somewhere, but we'll see.
So face off to the left of Bolwell, won by the Aces, used the board to try and clear it, but it's hooked and kept in the zone. Dragons, turns, shot there from Spridgen, and that was a really well-worked play. Spridgen just sat out in front of the paint there.
Yeah, Bolwell did well to see that and react quickly, managed to cover it up, and it's still 0-0.
So 2 minutes 18 gone in this first period. Early pressure from the Dragons. Aces absorbing it. It's a face-off won by the Dragons. Aces doing enough to clear out the zone though. It's going to be a foot race there. That's Chapman. Chapman. Great forward check pressure. It's going to be picked up near side by Lajczak. Lajczak. Gains the boards and Wainwright's just holding him down. In comes Chapman and Gilbert, but that's going to be blown dead.
Yeah, referees just being a bit cautious there, a bit safe. Player wasn't able to move away. Pinned against the boards, bit of safety.
So Marcin Lajczak, one of the imports for the Altrincham Aces this season, has spent time previously with them, but not so much ice time. First proper season stretching his legs. And a notable mention though, Gary, of the lack of Jakub Pavlovic, the other import, who's been quite prolific so far for the Aces. So maybe there could be a key point in him not being here.
Well, like we said in the intro there, will they miss him?
As the Aces do enough to clear that away there. Tries to put the hip on, disrupt the play, and does so. It's picked up Chapman in the corner. Gets a man out front. Intercepted by the Dragons. Looks to try and clear the zone, do with Furnival. Furnival gets his head up, finds Parsons. Parsons takes it through. Gets around a man, takes a shot, it's up. Goes high. Picked back up by the Aces D-men. Just going to slow play down, try and get something together now. But Keaton and Furnival with very high forecheck pressure there. Nurse. Just calmly controlling the puck. Dunford unable to control it. It's jumped on by Ryan Jones, the Dragons. Plays it back over into the corner of Keaton. The Dragons look to try and get something set up, but Cade King's got other things in mind and cuts that pass out. And now the Aces push that puck through. Lovell in receipt of it, just trying to stop any momentum going in Altrincham's favour. And again, here it turns. Lovell uses the boards, rings it round. Gone all the way to the opposite corner. Wigglesworth picks that up. Drops that back for Parry. Parry picks the puck up. Great board play coming in from Altrincham. Again, Dragons fighting for that puck and coming out with it with Parry. Turns on for the wraparound. Bolwell's down with a great leg pad save.
Well, I'd have put money on Lovell putting that away there. It was a quick turnaround, but well saved.
Bolwell being asked questions of early with 4 minutes 17 gone in this first. Parry now in possession for the Dragons, sat safely behind his own net. Uses his defenseman. Just tries and push that out. Chappell tried to reach for that and couldn't scoop it in. Aces in danger zone. Turns, takes a shot. Ooh. Armstrong sees that all day. And now Austin for the Dragons. Brings it through centre ice. Lays it off for Chappell. Andy Chappell goes into the corner. Feeds it back across in the slot.
And they missed this opportunity.
Jones for the one-timer, which come all the way out and picked up again by the Dragons with Wainwright as they look and reset. Deflected from his stick.
And the netminder had left the ice there as well for the Dragons. There were 6 men on the ice, having a chance at trying to put it in.
It looks like a high stick call actually, Gary. We've got a player in the box for the Aces.
Yeah. It's already the first player in, and it's Greaves. It's going to sit out for a couple of minutes there.
So Dragons get the first power play opportunity of the night. And straight away Altrincham do what they need to do and clear that puck out. And now just trying to get something together of the Dragons as they bring that puck through with Parsons. Looks for Keaton on the far side. Miscommunication, Altrincham try and clear it out. Austin does enough to just keep it outside the blue line. Wainwright and Austin now, D to D. Austin takes it onside. Looking to get something set up. Keating tries to ride the hit there from Bain. Wainwright into the corner. Puck's gone up and over the far side. Again, Dragons now desperately trying to get some sort of rotation going, but the Aces doing what they need to do to upset it. Found Wainwright in acres of space. Wainwright, very crucial player, so you've got to keep him quiet because so far this season, Gary, Matt Wainwright with 19 assists.
Well, the Aces have done well. They're clearing that down the ice. There's just under a minute left on that penalty.
The Dragons special team has been a little bit special for them this season. Most of their points in that Telford game came from the special teams, but so far textbook penalty kill coming from the Aces.
Well, be interesting to see. They've got very little time left now, 30 seconds to capitalise on that, and the Dragons will end up losing the opportunity unless they can do something quickly here with Parry with the puck.
Parry inside line, goes back to the corner to Lovell. Lovell at the point. Back to Parry. Parry finds a man in space. Shot comes in.
Whoa!
That's from Wigglesworth. It goes high and wide. Was it Jones? Sorry. From Jones. And we're into the final 10 seconds again. Jones with the shot. It's pepper potting the plexi behind the goal of Bolwell.
And both teams are back to full strength now.
Third shot is blocked. Chappell unable to do anything. Jones tries to step up. High man. He's got round this. It's got round it to 2-on-1.
Oh, well
Great save. Armstrong with a crucial save there, but Jake Ness just proving that Altrincham have certainly, by no means least, asleep in this game.
Yeah, you can't allow a person like Jake Ness that opportunity so close to the goal. He tried to lift it up and over Jonah Armstrong, but unfortunately it just went just too high, enough for him to just tap it away, and the Dragons survived that little attack. So
we've got a face-off to the right of Armstrong. Greaves wins it for the Aces. Kept in by King. King looks to set the rotation up this time. Greaves winds up, takes a shot.
And the Dragons have got a man in the box now. Mark Lovell serving a penalty.
So Lovell goes and sits, and we're now going the other way. Now can the Dragons show the penalty kill ability that the Aces just have? And so far the Aces doing well, control that centre ice. Dragons do enough to force them back into their own zone, but turned around quickly. Bain picks that up, skates that inside, tries to get through three men onto the stick of Wainwright. Behind Armstrong's net, seen off by Morgan. And now, certainly the Dragons playing a lot more of a physical brand of hockey than Altrincham have been.
Yeah, it is a physical game, but we kind of expected that.
Berry feeds the puck around for Greaves. Greaves looking for a man out front. The paint's packed. And now, big stretch pass comes right loose. Jumped on by the Dragons. King is back to receive that though. And now, quick line change by both teams. King's going to try and capitalise, take the opportunity, lays it up to Greaves. Greaves takes it in, takes a shot.
Oh, well put away there.
It was well seen by Armstrong.
Yeah.
He was able to get the glove on it. And no, little mistake there.
Lost his stick though, Parry.
Parry needs to be careful. That's going to be a hooking call. The official's arms up. And there it is there, you can see it. So that's going to be a hooking call on Alex Parry for the Dragons.
Yeah, the official gave the signal, and it's now two Dragons players sitting in the penalty box, albeit Lovell still remains in there for another 26 seconds. But for that period of 26 seconds, the Dragons are now down to three players.
Face-off, won by the Aces, but they get a bit too much on it as Dylan has to skate back. 20 seconds remain. Ness takes it on. Three men of the Dragons desperately trying to clear it away there from Austin. Lays it on for Chappell. Great penalty kill so far from the three-man special teams. There's Aces behind their own net, forced to set and go again. 2-1, the penalty expires. We're in a 5-on-4 situation.
Yeah, Lovell returns to the ice for the Dragons.
Here comes Ness, goes round one, takes a shot.
Oh.
Great save again from Armstrong. And now Armstrong feeling the pressure that Bolwell did earlier, as they try and get a cycle going, but it's picked up by the Dragons, who just do exactly what they need to do and lift that puck just up off the ice, clear it all the way down the Altrincham end.
Yeah, there's just over 1 minute remaining on the existing penalty to the Dragons. They've got to endure another onslaught from the Aces.
Dunford there.
They've managed to survive it so far.
Dunford came sprinting out of his zone and was just forced to slam the brakes on. Great check as he just entered the zone. We've got something going on at Berry, it appears. Was taken down, the loose puck, it's jumped on by the Dragons. Furnival's in, 2-on-1.
Oh dear.
Shot, he's taken out.
Oh, and both players hit into the boards.
Straight back up the other end. It's going to be an offside on Greaves.
Well.
And we can see it already.
And Furnival having a little quiet word there with Dickinson.
So, can we see some fireworks, Gary?
Well, it's hard to say, but don't forget, this is an Aces team that we're usually used to seeing up at the top end of the table, normally getting the good results, and then on the back end of a bad result last night, they need points. Oh!
And the face-off won there by the Dragons. Puck trickles right across the crease. And Parsons now just trying to apply a bit of pressure.
I don't think Bolwell saw that at all.
Great cut-out pass there from Furnival, picked up. Lovell and Parsons trying to step up. Wainwright, he's trying to mark his man. Shot comes in. Wow, that was a late scene there from Armstrong. And again, still 5 seconds remaining on the power play. 2-1.
And Paddy returns to the ice for the Dragons. Oh, and as he does, the Aces find that little hole in the net, and they've managed to score. It's Altrincham Aces taking the lead here at Deeside Dragons.
Yeah, and that's going to be Dickinson. Jared Dickinson just sat back there, and with the confusion of Parry waiting to come back onto the ice, he's taken the opportunity.
Well, it was a scuffle in front of the net. Didn't get cleared away, and Dickinson manages to slot it straight past Jonah Armstrong, and it's Dragons 0. Altrincham Aces 1.
We get straight back into the action. It's the Aces that win the face-off with Dillon. Big telescopic pass going into the corner, but that's going to be... Yeah, that's going to be offside there. So Dickinson from Berry, from Greaves. And the face-off very quickly won. Shot taken by Jones. It's bowled up off the glove of Bolwell, but she's cleared it around the back of the net.
Oh, and a nice slam into the boards there by Chappell.
Jones picks the puck back up, chased down by Chapman. Rings that puck round, finds Spridgen near side, can't get hold of it. Dillon uses the boards, tries to get around his man. Gilbert can't reel that in. Jones takes the opportunity to dump the puck on net. Holland's over there, picked up. Spridgen trying to stand his man up. But it's Lazarchuk. Oh, shot in! Oh! And seconds.
How did that not go in?
Oh, good check again. The pace of the game and the physicality's turned up another notch, and there's another hit gone in.
Yeah, I think the Dragons are not happy that they've gone a goal down. But Ben, you've only got to say that they've only got themselves to blame.
Yeah, very much so. It was that split second they fell asleep, and of course they were on the penalty kill. Still, even though the clock had expired, I don't think Parry had quite made it fully back onto the ice. 12 minutes 10 gone in this first, and Nurse with the puck, centre ice, just dumps it into the corner. Quick line change for the Aces. Dragons now desperately trying to gain control of this game again. You can hear the fans trying to rally up the Dragons. With Wainwright, tries to find Lovell. Miscommunication, puts it far side. Lovell has to twist and can't quite reach it. Berry doesn't have to clear it down. It's going to be picked up by Morgan. Morgan of the Dragons finds Parry open far side. Parry gets it round. King into the corner. Wigglesworth, great poke check. And a stick lift there from Berry. Aces desperately trying to clear it out. Trying to scramble off the boards, and they do so. It's come away on a Dragon stick. Wainwright at the point. Parsons takes the shots, deflected, and they're taking all the power out of it. And now Altrincham trying to clear, do so, find Nurse. Nurse, high man. Battle there with Morgan. He's done enough. Out in front. Armstrong has to go down to save it. He's taking down Parsons with him.
Yeah, a bit of a mix-up there in the net.
And right now, the Aces have got the Dragons running around in circles, but they do it, they clear it, and it's Furnival on it. Foot race between Dillon and Furnival. Furnival puts it back across the paint. No one there.
It's well defended by the Aces.
And it's a little bit of a scrappy game, Gary, but when it goes, it's got those moments just to pop.
Yeah, it's very physical, but in the same time a bit scrappy. I think neither team are settling down. Dragons are eager to get back on the board, and the Aces are keen not to let the Dragons score.
Wainwright takes it in, tries to find Parsons in the paint, can't do it. Aces get a stick round. Find Gibson. Gibson's pushed it forward. It's going to be picked up by Morgan behind the Deeside net, and Morgan does the right thing and just controls the puck and allows the Dragons to get back in dictation of the rhythm of the game. Skates it up, pressure coming from Gibson, does enough to block it off. Big hit from Chappell and Bain, but he rides it well and Chappell goes down. Morgan picks the loose puck up again. He's got Jones in support with Spridgen, takes it far side, crowded out, puck in behind the Aces net. Chappell picks that up, feeds it to Jones at the point. Jones, two-man wall.
Oh,
Tries to find Chappell, puck's wide, Aces jump back on it. Back into the middle, and now Altrincham just using their passing ability to play it around. Greaves, well played, took it round Jones, but Chappell picks up on that loose puck into the leg pads. Spridgen picks up a loose puck, finds Jones, Jones shoots!
Oh! Nice little interplay there between Jones.
And again, it's picking up in the pace of physicality. Shot comes in low. Bolwell's got it trapped under a pad, and that's just going to stop the action for a minute.
Yeah, nice little interplay between Jones and Spridgen there off that pass from Chappell. Unfortunately, they didn't capitalise on it. Good little bit of play, but we'd like to see more of that.
Jones and Greaves being told by the officials to escape back to their benches there. Just put a lid on it, boys.
Yeah, well, we know it's volatile. It's going to go off at some point, but right now, if it just needs to be controlling it.
So face off to the left of Bolwell's, run quickly by the Aces, but Dragons jump on the loose puck, unable to turn that in. Jones takes a shot straight into the chest of Bolwell, just going to freeze play. And that's just proving there that even though the Aces seem to be in the driving seat of this game, any little hiccup they can give the Dragons, they're going to jump on it.
Yeah, Jones saw his opportunity, wound it back and took a shot there, but well soaked up.
Face off left of Bolwell, won by the Dragons, play it to the point, forced back into the corner, loose puck, going to be there by Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth feeds it back round, Dragons now trying to get something set up. Great pocket pick there from King. And now Cade King pushes it forward, finds Gilbert, but it's a stick lift from Jones, turns the possession back round. We've got a whistle, and there's going to be an offside there. Neenan giving the whistle. That's just going to disrupt the flow that the Dragons had going for that split second.
Well, we said there earlier in the build-up that the Aces need to find their form of old, and you know, having already lost so many games going into this, they've only won 2 of their last 5, and they need to get that form back.
Certainly, and they're going to want to do that, because as everybody knows, that Christmas break is a killer. It will literally make or break your season.
Yeah, and of course, Witness Wild making the assault on the title again, and they're already starting to make a breakaway.
Yeah, and obviously one of the beauties is you will be able to catch some of the Witness Wild games here and drop the puck in the future as a shot comes in again from the Dragons. Puck back out to Wainwright, shoots, one-timer!
Oh, and it's well
Bolwell
stopped.
sees it all day.
For Parsons. Little scuffle there. Referee's quick to defuse that.
And that's Lazarchak.
Yeah. Well, you can feel it. You can almost sense the Dragons feel that they're going to get one here. They're starting to put a bit more pressure, turning the screw on the Aces.
Face-off will be to the left of Bolwell. Parsons being thrown out. It's going to be Keating to take it. Oh no, sorry, Furnival. And it's won by the Aces. King. Pressure coming in. Keating's done enough to put him under pressure. No mistake made though. Ness comes back to support him.
Oh, well cut out by Parsons.
Parsons tried to take it on but realised he'd have been offside. 16:52 now in this first period. Time's running away. Fast-paced game, fast-paced clock. And now near side, Furnival just knocks that on. Skated onto by Keating. Chris Keating, been a very prolific player for the Dragons first line this season. Look, wrap around!
Oh, and again!
And again, Parsons is there.
But no way, Bolwell's not letting that go, and of course a couple of aces' bodies lying all over the floor in front of the net there.
Yeah, Bolwell did well to seal that out there on the post. And it that first line of Furnival, Keating and Parsons has been unbelievable this season, Gary. So far, just between the three of them, they've currently got 23 goals, 23 assists.
Yeah, it's a fruitful partnership. But of course the second line's just been as fruitful as well. You got some good players on that line as well. But we can't take it away from the Aces, who are really giving a performance here tonight. And,
certainly, as Austin picks that puck up centre ice, takes it through. He's got support and Spridge in, takes the shot though.
Yeah, as I was saying, they're currently leading, and they're controlling the game.
They are. It's not a position the Dragons are going to want to be in with 3 minutes or just under remaining in this first period. You can imagine what Coach Gary Shaw's getting ready to scream at them in the locker room, as Wainwright and Chappell are all forward for the face-off. Chappell chases down Greaves, finds a man, can't get it round Austin. Spridge in, into the boards. Dragons managed to push that puck over to Jones. Had to stall to stay onside. Shot comes in, but it's blocked off the shoulder of an Altrincham player. And it's worked its way all the way down onto the stick of Armstrong. Two-man forecheck for the Aces now. But they find Jones, who's got a bit of ice in front of him, and opens up. Gets round his man. Trying to find Spridgen in the paint, but that's great play there from the Aces. Stopping Spridgen, establishing himself there in the crease.
Yeah, they're putting the pressure on. You can see that something's going to come of this soon.
Now, Spridgen, not exactly a big guy, and you've got the big defenseman there of Berry. Well, and there's going to be a call here. Is that Keating was brought? I know Lovell was brought to the ground.
And it looks like an Aces player's going to the box. And it looks like...
Is that Cade King?
Yeah, it is. King going to the box. Well, King can sit on his throne for a little bit, for 2 minutes, while the Aces have to endure the pressure from the Dragons for this final minute and a half.
So that means if the Dragons are unable to score, they'll start the second period on the power play. But for right now, the Aces are doing exactly what they need. Win the face-off, clear that puck straight down into the Dragon zone. And it's going to be a charging call against King. Dragons with the extra man advantage now certainly need to pull a goal back going in this period, but Greaves has got other ideas. Goes down, takes a shot. Armstrong does enough.
Oh, and a bit of a scuffle there.
Is that Chappell? Can't quite make it out, sorry. Yeah. No, Austin.
No, it's Austin.
Austin and Greaves. Oh. And the Aces turning down, we've got another call.
And as a penalty, is it Chris Jones has been brought down there, is it?
And that's going to be, it looks like, a tripping call on Berry.
Oh no, it's on Parsons. Parsons is slammed into the boards by the look of it.
So, in the dying minutes of this first period, the Aces gifting the Dragons an opportunity.
It's King and Berry now sitting in the penalty box for the final 48 seconds of this first period here at Deeside.
So face off to the right of Bolwell. 5-on-3 situation in favour of the Dragons. Dragons literally a minute to try and do something in this period. Shot comes in, it's hit the first man in Nurse. And it's a charging call on Berry as well. Out front, Chappell.
Oh, and he can't
dig it out. Dragons are in game possession now, luckily. Jones feeds that puck around to Lovell. Lovell takes a shot off the post and come out. We're into the final 15 seconds. Lovell feeds Jones. Jones looks like he's going to wind it up now. Feeds it back to Lovell. Trying to stretch those three men. Shot comes in. Bolwell sees enough of it. She turns it out.
And the clock ticks down. And the final buzzer goes for
this first period. Holland clears it down onto Armstrong. So, Gary, the Dragons will start on the power play in a 5-on-3 situation in the second period. You certainly got to think it's going to account for something.
Yeah, I think they've got to capitalise when you get chances like that. I mean, the Aces tried their best but they've only managed to put one past Jonah Armstrong so far in this first period. A lot of action, quite heated affair so far, and it ends in this first period here. Dragons 0, Altrincham 1.
Dunarmus Sportswear. Sponsors have dropped the puck.
Well, an interesting first period there. I'm joined by Steve Fellows, former Dragons, and of course, Altrincham Aces player.
Yeah, that's right. I spent about 3 years there when I was a teenager. Got to play 2 seasons for the Aces, and yeah, I've got ties with them. But obviously, my hometown it's Deeside, isn't it? So I'm a Dragon through and through.
Well, interesting first period, Steve. You've got to favour one team or the other. I mean, the Aces have come away in that first period 1-0.
Yeah, do you know what? Maybe it was a little bit scrappy. Maybe because both teams played last night, so it took its toll out of them. So, you know, putting a few passes, you know, they're just finding their feet a little bit in the first period. But as the game progressed, people were settling into the game and into the strides. It looked a bit better, yeah.
Well, the Dragons have certainly got to do something now, going in a goal down. But do you think Gary Shaw will try and G him up a little bit? Because, you know, certainly the Aces certainly need that after coming off 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, I think so. You know, if they can be disciplined, stick to the game plan, get the puck cycling, and you know, follow the shots, go to the net. I'm sure there's no doubt in my mind this team can get a result here tonight. Yeah.
Well, the Aces have been a little bit heavy on the penalties in this first period. Dragons have been quite disciplined. If this remains the same, do you think it'll be more in favour for the Aces, or do you think the Dragons can capitalise and keep putting those Ace players in the box, penalty box, and try and get a point in the next period?
Well, you're never going to win games if you've got guys in the box. So the key thing is discipline out there. So I guess it comes down to which team's going to have the best discipline on the ice and put away the chances.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this second period turns out. And with that, we'll go back to our commentary team of myself and Ben Lee.
So as we get ready to start the second period, the puck drops, and don't forget that Dragons are on the power play here. It's a 5-on-3 situation, and I'm sure Coach Gary Shaw...
Oh, it is! Straight away!
Gavin Austin! Well, literally 12 seconds on the board.
Well, the puck came out to him just by the blue line. Took his time and rifled the shot right into the top corner, and Bowell just stood and watched it. There was nothing they could do, and the Dragons have drawn level here at the Den. It's now Deeside 1, Aces 1.
So throw out the rule book, go back to square one. We might as well start this game again, but let's not forget that goal does cancel out one of the penalties. There still is a remaining penalty for another minute. Dragons are still on the power play for another minute. It's a 5-on-4 situation.
Yeah, just under a minute, so let's see if the Dragons can capitalise. But what will that do, Ben, to the Aces? Will that rattle them, I wonder?
I think so. They've obviously come out with a
Wainwright's just bringing it around the back of the Aces net now.
Yeah. He's lost it. It's picked up.
And it's got left in the ice, sticky ice.
I was going to say sticky ice again, yeah. And Parsons looking to set the rotation up now. But yeah, I'd imagine the Aces wanted to come out and immediately shut down the Dragon opportunities, and unfortunately it's gone the other way. As now the Dragons find Austin, once more the scorer, puts it back across, tries to find Parsons, sat just outside the post in the crease. As we enter the final 5 seconds, Austin again, wise up. And Bolwell's going to get tired of those shots. Another shot comes in from Parsons, it's off his skate.
And Austin's acting like a sniper there on the grassy knoll, just firing them shots in. Oh, and another one from Lovell.
Yeah, Berry's returned back to the ice, and we are 5-on-5. And now the Aces look to break quickly with Dickinson. It's a 2-on-3. And Berry chases that into the corner. Great pressure coming from the Dragons. Armstrong down and just turns that out. Tries to push it up, doesn't get enough on it. Dickinson does enough to keep control, feeds it back to his defensive man in the form of King. And now Altrincham trying to get something going. Lovell steps up and tries to put the body on. And Dragons try and turn that round. It's off the board, picked up by Parry. Parry skates it in at pace, but unfortunately meets a stick from Altrincham, and it's just put against the boards, loose back in centre ice. No, Parry's got it. Oh, can't find Lovell. And the Dragons have come out firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, they certainly had a shake-up in that changing room, but it's all level at the moment, as we said at the start of this period, and it's anybody's game.
Put it back in there from Morgan. It's round in front of their own bench. Jones now trying to chase it down into the corner, looking for support. Aces knock it out, force the Dragons to come out and reset as they do. Mix up there between Bain and Holland. And Bain uses the boards, tries to feed Gibson, and he's going to be offside for that one. So Gary, the Dragons following the game plan, coming out scoring early, trying to get this game back level.
Yeah, this second line as well of is it Parry, Wigglesworth and Jones, starting to make things happen a little bit more. It's been quite fruitful as a second line as well.
As the face-off was won by the Dragons, driven forward by Parry, but Altrincham intercept, flicked that forward. Morgan's going to skate back and pick that up. And I suppose the utilitarian option there is the word I was looking for, Gary, of using Chris Jones as a forward as well as a defensive. He's so flexible and versatile there.
Well, yeah, of course, other than that word being worth 18 points in Scrabble, yes, I understand what you're saying about Jones. He is versatile.
Of course, everyone likes a good board game, Gary. As the Dragons quickly chase that into the corner.
Other board games are available.
Of course. And Altrincham now in possession in the corner. Feed that out in front of the boards and out in front of the Dragons bench, but they've regained possession. Mix up, and again, Bain has to step in. Tries to clear it out, but Ryan Jones just knocks it back into their own zone. King, round one man. Jones sweeps, can't take it. It's a great poke check from Chappell. He can't chase it up.
Spridgen lost his stick and further up the ice, it caused an offside rule.
And again, Altrincham break a pace. Greaves takes a shot.
Ooh. Greaves fancied his chances then, saw an opportunity, and Jonah Armstrong just having a quick drink there while he catches his breath, because I think he thought he was going to get his head taken off.
Yeah, that puck, he was looking for the top right there, top shelf to the glove side of Armstrong. He just sailed over the metalwork as the face-off is won again by the Aces.
And Dragons have had a line change again.
Austin knocks that forward for Parsons, going back out with that first line, trying to find Keaton in the middle.
Oh, it's scrappy again.
All piled up, out traffic in front of the net. Loose puck bobbles into the corner, picked up by the Aces. Dickinson tries to play it round, but he's only found the stick of Wainwright at the point. And again, Dragons trying to take it in, shot comes in low from Furnival. Still, Simon Furnival just trying to get a little 1-2 set up, and it's enough there from Altrincham to clear that puck out. Keating can't reel it in. It's picked up by Berry at the point though. Round one man goes to go in. Armstrong comes out, and Wainwright and Berry.
Now he's well solid there, Armstrong, on that. But Berry must have fancied his chances. He was almost one-on-one, but Armstrong held firm.
As I say, he read it well and came out, but yeah, we're going to get a penalty here against Matt Wainwright of the Dragons. So Wainwright's going to the box.
And again, the Dragons find themselves a man down early in this second period.
So Altrincham now on the power play for 2 minutes, 5 on 4. Shot comes in. Armstrong uses the stick to get away. And again, the Dragons are forced into defending an odd man situation as Morgan brings down his man on the boards. The puck's come out to Holland at the point. Shot comes in. It's off the leg pads there of a Dragons player. And Altrincham desperately trying to get something going with Nurse. Nurse helped there by Dunford. Loose puck. Morgan's going to chase that round. Dickinson skates in, tries to hip check and lay the body on.
Oh, and they've nicked it again.
And Dragons trying to play a physical defence. Altrincham just now moving that puck around, spreading them out a bit. Shot comes in, it's off the stick of Parry up and over the plexi.
Well, still 1 minute 10 of this penalty against Matt Wainwright. It's causing the Dragons to be on the penalty kill. And you've got to wonder.
Oh, and the puck's gone up and over.
Oh, and there's 3 prizes for the fans by the looks of it, because that puck flew over the plexi.
She seems to be all right. That'll be a lovely little souvenir for the fan there.
Oh, no, it's not a hat.
So, face off to the right of Armstrong. It's picked up by the Dragons, won and thrown straight up down the other end. Berry's forced back to pick it up. Wigglesworth and Chappell providing the forecheck. Got to get back though, as it's a 3-on-2 situation.
Oh, and he's...
Altrincham takes a shot.
Oh, there's an open side there, side of Jonah Armstrong then. He missed that opportunity.
And that was Bain with the shot.
Yeah.
And now trying to set something up again. King, far side, 40 seconds remain in the penalty against Wainwright. Wigglesworth skates up to his man, forces him to dump it back round. Austin gets a stick in, but it's the Aces that come out with it. Great board play again. Dragons now. Jones skates in, slams on the brakes not to run over King. Jones has done enough, tried to get on and cleared it out. Textbook there from Chris Jones and the Dragons. 15 seconds remain now. Forecheck pressure coming.
Oh, Chappell tried to intercept that then and missed him.
7, 6, 5, Tickers King skated in.
Oh, what a try.
Oh, great blocker save there. Bain goes up, rides the check. Wainwright's back on the ice, 5-on-5. The intensity stays at the penalty kill level though, as Wigglesworth gets a stick in.
Oh, and he got crowded out, but Gilbert
shot.
Oh,
Tried to 5-hole Armstrong. And we've got a hook. And that's going to be...
Oh, it looks like it's on Wigglesworth. Yeah, Wigglesworth going to the box. So no sooner have the Dragons got back to full strength, and again they're down.
Well, we've talked about it time and time again on Drop the Puck, Gary. Discipline is a key factor. The Dragons already quite high in the penalty numbers this season. They are known for it. They don't need any more of it. And now Altrincham with the man advantage. Holland picks it up at the point, takes a shot. Straight into the leg pads there.
So Dragons going to have to suffer a little bit more on the slow from the Aces. Soak up this pressure. But can the Aces capitalise?
Well, you'd like to think they've got something up their sleeve.
I see what you did there, Ben. I see what you did.
And they're going to need to do something soon, as Holland, again, takes another shot. It's seen out by Armstrong. Nurse tries to turn it inside in the paint. And there's... yeah, the official's arms up. I think that's going to be a high stick call. Possibly on Dunford. He was holding his helmet. There's the Dragons killing the advantage, and we'll find out what it is now. Yeah, and it's Morgan going to the box, so the Dragons are doing themselves no favour at the moment.
Well, the rumour that they have a heated penalty box certainly doesn't hold any favours, because there's more Dragons in there at the moment. 2 players currently, Wigglesworth and Morgan, and they really need these players out on the ice. Aces have got to fancy their chances now.
Certainly, as a 5-on-3 in the situation. Oh! And Altrincham now. We saw with the 5-on-3 the Dragons were able to score. Will the Aces? You've got Wainwright, Parry and Lovell out there trying to defend this.
And it's covered up by...
Great save for Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong got that safely away. Well, the discipline's got to be sorted soon, otherwise the Dragons are making an uphill battle for themselves. It's currently still 1-1, but either team can take this game, but you've got to fancy the Aces in this period now.
Face off, won by the Dragons, but straight into the stick of Greaves, takes a shot. Gloved away by Armstrong, and you'd fancy Joe Greaves to bury that one.
Yeah, right now there's only one end of the ice it's being played on, and it's
yeah, it's the Deeside zone.
And Bolwell needs waking up.
So Greaves has to skate back and pick the loose puck up as it was cleared out by Deeside. Little over a minute remaining in the first penalty. And Greaves skates that in. The three men of Deeside very weary where he puts that puck as the shot comes in.
Oh, and it's saved on the line.
Sealed on the post.
What?
And we've gone.
Here
Well,
we go.
Dickinson got the glove in the face of one of the Dragons players.
Lovell's got a grip of Dickinson. The referee's between the two of them. And you can see there, they want to defuse this quickly.
We certainly don't want this getting out of control. The Dragons can't afford to take any more penalties as it stands.
No,
there's still
certainly
41
can't.
seconds remaining on the penalty against Wainwright and a minute and 10 against the one on Morgan.
And
I've got a feeling there may be a roughing penalty coming somewhere.
Well, right now,
And now the officials have waved it off.
well, the Aces have got too many players on the ice at the moment. Dickinson's making his way off. He's still on the ice as they're playing.
No, that's... I don't know what you call that, Gary, but it's a loose puck and Parsons has picked it up. He's driven it deep into the Altrincham zone. He's being held. The fans are in uproar. And the two defensive men of the Dragons back just going to dump that straight back in. It's onto the net of Bolwell. She's awake now.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have VAR here in the ice hockey rink, so we can't look that back.
As it's cleared out once again by the Deeside defensive unit. 7 seconds remain on the initial penalty. Dragons will certainly be looking forward to getting an extra pair of legs on the ice. And there it goes the trapdoor now.
Yeah, and Wigglesworth back onto the ice.
Oh, skated in by Berry and turned out. Bit of miscommunication again between Bolwell and Berry, but they've done it as Parsons trying to dig that out from between the skates there of Berry. King is over there as well as Dunford.
Oh, and Parry immediately comes on the ice and slams into.
No, Parry's on the ice, yeah. There's still 4 seconds remaining before we're back to full strength.
Yeah, he comes on and slams Dunford right into the boards.
And we've got an offside there as the penalty expires. So, let us catch our breath. 9 minutes 38.
And with that, Parry has gone straight to the box.
Well, I was about to say with 9 minutes 38 in a second.
Yeah, he's been, penalty is boarding. So, he's going to serve 2 minutes. So no sooner are they back to full strength for the 1 second. The Dragons are back now down to 4 against 5.
And Jake Nurse and Chris Jones, they're just chatting with the officials. Mr. Walker and Mr. Trustwell. Well, one of the officials has gone over to the Dragons bench. And I think they're going to look for another man. And they are. Owen Bennett's being sent over to sit in the box as well. Is this a 2+10? And there it is.
And just as you say, it's called. So Owen Bennett's having to serve that extra suspension there.
So the Dragons are in a 5-on-4 situation for the remainder of the penalty, and it's 2 minutes there. Puck makes its way onto Bolwell's stick, but it's going to be picked back up. And Dylan tries to use the boards to clear it out, does so. Lovell finds Austin. Austin invites the pressure of the Altrincham Aces on, only to dump the puck behind him. Great chase up there by Lovell. And now Dickinson forced into the cul-de-sac, and great pressure coming from Chappell.
He's a little terrier, isn't he, Chappell, when he gets working?
Now the Aces just trying to use that man advantage in the open ice. It's off the skate there and picked up by Austin. And the Dragons are just going to want to keep doing exactly what they're doing here, drawing the Aces forward and then just dumping the puck over their heads.
There's a minute remaining on that penalty, and
they're getting something going, the Aces. Quick tap, passing. They found Bain. Bain skating in at pace. He's got nobody in the centre. Out, shot, great glove. Out from Armstrong there. And Furnival is able to clear that down.
he's giving Dickinson a little bit of a tap with his stick there to let him know.
Again, Wainwright's going to skate back and pick that loose puck up and just dump it straight onto Bowles' net.
Oh,
Bolwell.
Well, that would have been embarrassing if that had gone in.
Turn around, go with Dickinson. Dickinson takes the shot
Oh, well
straight
saved, Danny. Oh, he's gone.
Armstrong shoulder, but he's out, hung to dry.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd overcommitted himself there. Furnival luckily steps in.
Yeah, he was looking for the wraparound, but Furnival
10 seconds remain.
Stopped it.
So, 7, 6, 5, it's ticking away as Berry's back behind his own net.
And the Aces have lost that opportunity of trying to capitalise on that numerous penalties that the Dragons incurred.
And Bennett's the first man out the trap. So they're going to sit Morgan for his 10. And now the Dragons trying to clear it out, but the Aces putting it back in.
I do believe it's Parry, isn't it, sitting in the...
I apologise, yep. There's Morgan's on the ice. And now the Aces, turned and put back in there by Greaves. Out in front again, trying to find a man.
Oh, Wainwright there, collecting that calmly.
Great body on from Greaves. He's going to go and sit down. He looks like he's taking a bit of a knock there on that one.
Yeah, Matthew Wainwright is not the kind of person you want to run this too lightly.
Parsons and Furnival pass amongst themselves. Dumped in there by Wainwright. Bennett steps up. Tries to find Parsons. Pass has gone behind him. Jones does enough to keep it alive. It's into an open corner, only for Altrincham to pick up. They fed it out to Ladchak. Ladchak puts it across. Berry skates up, keeps that onside. And now Altrincham starting to get something going. But it's going to be Jones. Gets there first for the Dragons. Can't clear it all the way. Marcin Ladchak behind. Dragons net now with Gilbert. Gilbert tied up on the board with Chappell. Great board play there. And the Dragons allows Chappell some breathing room. Plays it across to Jones. Skates onside. Jones up into the corner. Tries to lay it back for Bennett. Does so. Bennett knocks a puck forward again. Come out to Chappell. Chappell takes a shot. Oh, it's off the glove, off the post. And Bolwell somehow keeps it out.
Chappell's wondering how that never went in.
And we've got an official's arm up. And that's going to be on OB himself, Owen Bennett.
Oh, he's shaking his head.
Bennett looks like he's going for a high stick.
Well, I'm sure Owen will go back to the position that he was sitting in before. He'll still be warm by the things.
And there's a miscommunication as Altrincham are still.
And the Aces, again, slow to get their players off the ice.
So it's a late hit on Bennett, is what the official call is. So 13:45 gone in the second period. Still a goal apiece, but power play opportunity for the Altrincham Aces, as the Dragons currently have 2 men sat in the box. Bennett for a late hit and Parry serving. A 2+10 for boarding. And now Lovell into the skates. Manages to use his skill and get that onto his stick. Tries to clear it out. It's come off the glove of one of the Aces players sat on his bench, and that's going to be a delay of game. But they're not going to give it against Lovell.
Well, these officials today have managed to control the game to a reasonable tempo.
Aces win the face-off, back to King.
But I don't think they're going to be able to control some of the volatile players out there tonight.
Dunford tries to get it round Austin, who gets a stick in the way. Skated it through and found it though still. And now the Aces trying to set something up. Berry at the point, but it's fed to Dickinson. Dickinson looking to go back around the net. Drop pass. Shot one time from Berry. Through traffic and turned out. Tried to be cleared out by Austin, but they've received it again. Nurse. And Jake Nurse and Austin both chasing it down, trying to have their own little battle against the boards. Again with Nurse. Nurse, a crucial player so far this season. Jake Nurse, 15 assists to his name. So he can't be given time on the puck or he will find a man.
Oh, right across the face of goal. Nobody there to knock it in.
And now Altrincham's desperately trying to scrape a goal together in this 48 seconds of the power play remaining, but caught a whole load of there by Austin, who's turned it down into the Aces end. It's going to be Dickinson, who tried to play it off the board, but it's come at a weird angle back at the post of Bolwell. Altrincham pick it up. Miscommunication again between Gibson and Bain means that Dragons are able to gain possession of the puck again. There it goes again, just a big dump and clear.
Yeah, it's just about 15 seconds remaining on that penalty, so...
Forecheck from Parsons.
Dragons have done well to absorb some of this pressure.
8 seconds remain. Puck's dumped down into the Dragon zone. Skated over and caught by Morgan. Morgan finds his own man, but it's a loose puck. Dickinson's on it.
Oh, nice play back by Dickinson there.
And now the Dragons jump on it. They've got an odd man situation. It's a 3-on-2. And the Dragons are back to full strength. There's Altrincham clear out of the zone.
Hence why Bennett was chasing down that puck.
Altrincham at the blue line, take the shot. That was Gibson. But now with the Dragons, Morgan tries to find it, and he does. To Furnival. Great interception and cut out though there by Dillon. And Altrincham turn that round. Onside, takes a shot. Straight into the chest of Armstrong.
Well,
and it's in his pad somewhere. There it is. There we go.
Oh, they get everywhere then. Yeah, but Parry's still sitting there out on that 10-minute penalty for the Dragons, so they're going to be without him for a good while yet.
Face off to the right of Armstrong. Quickly won by the Dragons. Tried to clear out the zone, but it's kept in by Holland. And now won again by the Dragons and cleared out. A lot of play right in front of us there. Jones feeds that over, but it's going to be picked up by Dillon. Chapman bodied and rode the check well from Chappell, but Jones has come away with the puck for the Dragons. Tries to find a man in front, turns it back in at the second bite of the cherry for Spridgen. And Bolwell just does the right thing and dives on it quicker than the lid on a pickle jar.
Yeah, Spridgen didn't have enough strength to use the backhand there and get that in between Boswell and the post. But I think a little bit more power might have seen that go in. And
we've got what appears to be a man being taken to the box there, and that's going to be Chapman. So Chapman for the Aces is going to the box. We'll see what the official call is now. But the Dragons now on the power play opportunity with 16:52 gone in the second. Face off won by Parsons. Plays to Austin.
Oh, well cut out by Nurse.
And it's a kneeing penalty that's being assessed to Chapman. Now the Dragons want to stretch that ice out a little bit, find Austin. Austin thinks about it, puts it in the corner. It's going to be chased down by Parsons. Altrincham clear the puck. Nurse skates up to try and apply some pressure. Wainwright gets there first. Dragons forced to come back and support. Furnival barking orders at Wainwright. Wainwright skates it in. He moves well for a big man, and he couldn't quite get enough of that to turn it back in.
Yeah, currently Dragons' second highest scorer.
Shot comes in. Bolwell just picks that out the air.
Yeah, and he fancied adding to his tally there, but Bolwell makes sure that that doesn't go in. And it still remains Dragons 1, Aces 1.
So Matt Wainwright for the Deeside Dragons, as you were saying there, Gary. Yeah, so far 13 games played. He's only got 3 goals to his name, but he's very disciplined. 8 minutes is all he's conceded all season so far in penalties. Very crucial player to them in support.
Well, he obviously likes his time on the ice rather than the penalty box.
So the Dragons now starting to set a nice little rotation up, trying to stretch out the Altrincham penalty kill unit. And we've seen it before, the Dragons goal initially coming from a power play.
Well, they've just got under 2 minutes remaining in this period, and if anything's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
45 seconds remain on the power play for the Dragons. Shot comes in, Bolwell gets down and turns that out. And into the corner, finds a man open far side. Shot comes in through traffic again. Bolwell sees it all day.
Yeah, Bowell's been performing well so far for the Aces. On what little pressure she's having to endure, she's dealt well with it. And for a small stature player, she seems to be filling that goal really well.
So the face-off now in the Altrincham zone to the left of Bolwell. It's picked up one by the Dragons, still 5-on-4 in favour to the Dragons. 25 seconds remain in the power play. Austin at the blue, shot again. Oh! She just stands up and pops out up into the air. It's come back down in the paint. Dragons and Aces scrambling to get onto it, but it's the Aces to do first.
Yeah,
Austin at the point, keeps it in, shot again. Oh! And Bolwell sees that late and is able to turn it out, and again.
Well, Bolwell never saw that puck flying up in the air, and that barrage of shots.
And Chris Keating's face says it all there. Is his eyes rolled, and what have we got to do?
And there's a oh, I thought for a moment there the referee was talking to Furnivall, but no, we seem to be remaining as we are, 5-on-4 in favour of the Dragons.
So we're literally going to get this face off in 6 seconds of play with a man advantage for the Dragons, and it's one. There it goes. Dragons back to
Aces back to full strength.
Aces back to full strength. Dragons with the other man to incur now, and still on the attack though in the Altrincham zone. Oh, pass comes through and they're not able to control it. He's managed to dig it out, and he's taken down for his trouble as Keating into the board. That's immediately blown, and that's a slash.
Oh, and another ace is going to the box.
So no sooner have they dealt with the first penalty, and that's going to be Jordan Holland. Holland's now going to the box for a slash. We've got 19-14 gone in the second period, and the Dragons to resume service on the power play. Jones, far side, out in front of his own bench, puts that puck into the corners of Lovell. Lovell tries to work the puck around. Great defensive moves coming in from Altrincham, but finds a man. Morgan with the shot. Bolwell scoops over and is able to seal that out last second. Jones takes a shot through traffic.
It's his own man. Chappell absorbed that one.
Chappell now into the corner. Might want to play it back up to one of the point men, does so. Jones winds up and lets a ripper go. Morgan now pushed that forward. Jones trying to skate some space far side to give to Chappell, but Chappell's found through other teammates, keeps it in, does Morgan.
And we're into the final 5 seconds of this period.
Again, Wigglesworth behind the net. Satin Gretzky's office finds a man and couldn't get it out to Jones quick enough for the one-timer.
Well, Jones was winding himself up there, ready to fire that one in, and the buzzer stops him. It's been a feisty second period, Ben, and most of the penalties against the Dragons in that period, and you've got to wonder why the Aces never capitalised more, because the Dragons managed to claw one back in that.
Yeah, certainly. So 18 minutes of penalties alone in that second period given to the Dragons, and so far it's the penalty kill unit of the Dragons that seems to be overworked.
Well, exciting period, but it still remains here in the Den. It's Dragons 1, Aces 1.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
So Steve, second period, that was a lot better for the Dragons, and of course they got that vital goal so soon.
Yeah, very quick into the second period. Power play goal. We've seen Gavin Austin do that time and time again. It came to him on the point, quick release, bang, top shelf, great goal, great goal.
But as we were saying in that first period break, how in the first period the Aces' discipline was a little bit wayward because they suffered a lot of penalties, 4 penalties in fact. It's been the complete flip because the Dragons have spent a lot of time in that penalty box.
Yeah, they have, but they've looked really strong on the penalty kill. So they've been killing penalties really well. But it's discipline. We've got to be disciplined. If we want to win the game tonight, if we want to get the result, we've got to be disciplined, keep guys out of the box. And, you know, you can see when we're 5 on 5, we seem to be the better team. It'll come, but as long as we're disciplined.
You've got to take your hat off to Sam Bolwell in that net for the Aces. She suffered some pressure there in that final few minutes.
Yeah, she's very quick, isn't she, to cover her posts and stuff like that. So, yeah, she's made some really good saves this period. And, you know, that's the standard that she set. She's a quality goalkeeper, yeah.
So, more of the same in this third period coming up. Who do you fancy?
Well, do you know what? The one thing I noticed in the second period there, where the Aces did cough the puck up quite a few times, where they just fired it round the boards and they weren't looking where they were passing, and the Dragons were reading and reacting to it and keeping it in. So I kind of anticipate if they continue to do that, we might just like get a couple of goals from that, maybe from the point. Yeah. So I would say we should, as long as it's 5-on-5, we should win this by 2 or 3 goals. Yeah. You
think so? It's interesting because it's vital that the Dragons keep this little win streak going, isn't it?
They've been in really good form lately. You know, last night, second in the table, Hull away. We went there short bench. We got a result. You know, the other week we were in Telford. Fantastic. At the beginning of the season, I thought we were going to be right up there, and then we sort of got some really poor results, and I just thought, what the hell's going on? Because the quality that we've got in that Dragons team, we should be competing in every game, home or away, competing in every game, top 4, even looking at winning the league. You know, that's the quality we've got in this Dragons. Yeah.
Well, it's 1-1 here at the end of the second period. A lot to play for, could go either way. Teams nicking points off each other. Let's get back to the action.
Well, welcome back. Thank you, Gary, for that. And we start this third period. The Dragons are on the power play as they started the second for 1:08. The penalty initially being served to Holland. And now they're going to try and use that man advantage, but it's great cleared out by Altrincham. Dragons fans in full voice. 1 period of hockey to rule them all. As 1 goal apiece it stands.
Well, you couldn't get it any tighter. It's 2 teams playing well tonight, looking for that little jump up in the league. We know Altrincham need to get a win because of their losing streak lately. Dragons need to maintain that pressure and keep in with the running pack in the top of the division.
Keating skates it onside, looks for a man in the front. Other goal, can't find anyone. It's on the boards, still Dragons in possession. Finds Wayne right to the point, takes the shot. It's off the skate of Nurse. And Nurse has done it and he's broken away. It's Nurse with Austin behind him, takes the shot. Can't convert it. Armstrong breathes a sigh of relief.
And the Aces go back to full strength.
Well, it's a great power play kill.
Penalty kill.
Yeah, power play kill, penalty kill, same difference, Gary. But the Aces will be happy with that. Now, trying to get the puck going again. It's dumped in by Jones. None of the Dragons chase that down, though. It's got all the way around, though, for Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth finds Lovell, takes the shot. Back with Jones, Ryan Jones. Plays it round, finds Lovell. Lovell can't reel it in. Loose puck's going to be picked up by Nurse.
He's missed that.
Nurse misses it, straight back in. Bolwell knocks it down out in front of her. It's picked up by Wigglesworth. Knocks that round to Jones. Jones back to Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth tries to slide it through. Can't. And King breaks very quickly. Oh, sorry, Greaves. Greaves. Oh! Stick is lost there from Morgan. And now the Dragons trying to clear out the zone. It's kept in. Holland returning to the ice. Puck straight across into the danger zone of the slot. No one's there.
Yeah, Bain was just waiting for it, but Chappell cuts him out.
Shots come in.
Oh!
Off the leg pads of Armstrong. Turns again. And Aces certainly letting the Dragons know they're not going to give up that easy. Lezak again can't do anything with that puck. Greaves behind Dragons net is able to poke it against the boards into the corner. Loose puck's bobbled away, chased into the corner there by the Dragons, trying to clear it out. Manson Lezak does enough. keep the pressure on the Dragons, try and clear it. It's only on Stickerberry, puts it back in, picked up by the Dragons. Turn and face with Morgan. Morgan skates it in, round 2 men.
Oh, Lazak just jumps into
the zone. Spridgen couldn't get his stick all the way on that. It's gone up. Down and back into the corner. At the point.
Oh!
Williams, Kenny Williams now on the ice for the Dragons. Thinks about the shot, takes it, Bolwell pops it out in front of it again.
Oh.
Furnival straight down onto that.
Well covered there by Bolwell.
Now, questions have got to be asked. If Bolwell does that, how long before the Dragons capitalise on something like that?
Well, it'll be interesting, because Parry's just returned back to the bench after serving his 10-minute penalty. And I'm sure he'll be keen to get back on the ice.
And it's a face-off won by the Dragons. It goes all the way through to the Aces. Skated straight through, but intercepted by Austin. Austin forced to hold the puck up so nobody goes offside. Block.
The tempo seems to be a little bit higher and faster with the Aces at the moment, but it's Dragons are seeing a lot of the puck.
Parsons, wise up shoot.
Oh no, Bolwell again.
And again, great stick save. She's having an absolute blinder in between the pipes.
Yeah, Steve Fellows there saying she does a good job, and she has filled that post really, really well.
Parson does well to stay onside there. He's got Keating in support. Furnival floating around that slot. Wainwright up the point, finds Wainwright. Wainwright uses his skill to keep it. Tries to find a man out.
Oh!
Puck back in. And it's through a traffic jam of skates, but it's come out to the Dragons.
And suddenly the ice is tilting in the favour of the Dragons.
Shot in from Furnival. Straight at Bolwell. Keating just lays the body on. And now the Aces with theirs. Loose puck knocked forward again by Jones. Picked up by Dickinson. Pressure coming in the form of Wigglesworth, but big stretch pass. Tried to find Dunford. Morgan's there, just knocks it forward for Lovell. Lovell finds Jones. Jones to Parry. Back D to Morgan. Stretches the Aces round in the form of a rush pass to Lovell. And now Parry back out on the ice, trying to cause some trouble for the Dragons. Does so, round 1 man, round the second. Can he finish it?
Oh!
No. Bolwell commits herself.
It went right between her legs. Triggles at the other side. Nobody there to slap it home.
Great hit out in front of his own bench here from Morgan. Uses the boards, clears it. Wigglesworth is able to get it just. No, he's lost it there. It's ridden the rail a little bit. Come down. Morgan again. And now frantically trying to clear out the zone of the Aces. Jones with the shot. She read it and was down. Bolwell. Chappell's got the puck out in front.
Oh my goodness. How many times has this girl stopped the puck?
And Armstrong just sees out with the biggest blade on the ice there. Well, catch your breath. I'm sure Bolwell will want to catch hers. And here we go again. Jones knocks it on for Chris Jones. Chip towards the net, chased down by Spridgen, but it's picked up by the Aces. Against the boards now. Spridgen and Jones tie up. Puck pops out. Chris Jones of the Dragons tries to turn it back in, but it's picked up by Holland. Holland clears that over to Dickinson. Dickinson near side, Greaves into the corner. Pressure coming from Ryan Jones. Chris Jones steps up. Dillon just outside the blue line of the Dragon zone, skates back to centre ice. Cleverly goes back to try and open the ice up a little bit back to his D-man, then fed it forward out in front of the Dragons bench. Dragons fans now, you can hear them trying to get the team going with Wainwright. Wainwright looks up, finds Spridgen on this inside lane. Spridgen with his speed, can he beat Dillon? No, Dillon's there first. Uses the board.
Oh, and it's done well, he got it past him.
Tie up with Austin there. Uses Wainwright. Wainwright, acres of space.
Oh, and it's blocked there by Dillon.
Again, the Dragons piling the pressure up, going through the gauge, you can see it, but it's a great poke check. Coming in there from Bain. Greaves picked it up, skated in pace, looks for a man in the slot, meets the white wall of the Dragons defence. And now each team, you can just feel the urgency each team is slowly getting that they need the points out of this matchup.
Yeah, it's not going to be long before we start seeing something go off.
Austin retrieves the puck for the Dragons, tries to find Parsons, who was broken away. And that going to be, is that a call? The officials goes arms up, no, it's just going to be an offside. So we're going to get a face-off to the left of Jonah Armstrong. 7:58 in this third and final period gone. And we're just looking at the board there, Gary. 28 shots versus 23 in favour to the Altrincham Aces.
Yeah, it's fairly close right across the board, isn't it?
I believe you did say at the beginning of the show, these two teams, both with quite, on paper, quite bad defences. I think one was the second worst and one was the third worst, roughly.
No.
Well, so much has happened in between.
Altrincham have got the 5th best defence.
Oh, sorry, there we go.
But it's the Dragons who have the second to last defence. Ranked number 8.
And Parsons takes it around his man, skates it in, tries back in, turn out.
It's in!
And it's in!
Oh my goodness!
And it's Furnival.
Well, the guy's been on form lately, and he seems to have been in the right place at the right time after a countless barrage of pucks. Bolwell's seen so much rubber, it's unbelievable. But this time, she couldn't stop it as it trickles in, and the Dragons get that vital goal, which edges them in front here tonight at the Den. It's Dragons 2, Aces 1.
And Bolwell there does not look dejected at all, more like infuriated with herself. Is she more focused now?
Well, you've got to wonder. You've got to wonder.
As the puck drops, it's immediately the Dragons who regain possession. Play it off the boards, out, looking for a man in centre ice.
Will we see things step up now by the Aces? Will we see it getting a little bit heated?
So Dragons now in possession. Great knock on there from Wigglesworth. Foot race between himself and Holland. And it's again Parry in the corner. Dumps out on net. Bolwell's got that clearly closed out.
Oh, no.
The referee just avoids a puck to the head from Lovell.
A little bit scrappy out there, mate. You need to watch out.
Now the Aces trying to find Dumford far side. Lovell's over there. Cupped between Parry and Wigglesworth as well. He's got round the man though. And here it's a 3 on.
Oh, side netting.
2 on 2 out in front.
Oh, he tries to wrap around.
Armstrong denies the Aces with which should have been a blatant opportunity.
And this game has stepped up.
Dickinson and Jones, shoulder to shoulder. And Nurse, as the captain of the Aces, just comes straight back and grabs control of that.
Dickinson missed that stretch pass there from Nurse, but Dragons taking control now.
Dragons back in control behind their own net. Morgan steps up, dumps it forward. Williams chases that down. Again, Jones.
Oh, and that little tap there from Armstrong.
Quite get it. Greaves puts it out in front of a dangerous position. Armstrong's down on it.
Yeah, Armstrong caused the problems himself there by that little tap out. It just went just beyond the Dragons defender, and immediately the Aces pounced on it. You cannot leave scraps like that, as the Aces are going to feed off them. They're going to try and get a point back here.
So we've got a face-off to the left of Armstrong. 10:25 gone in this third period. And Austin just wins that for the Dragons. Furnival tries to use the board to go around King. Pucks back down the other way from Greaves. Armstrong down onto the ice with his stick. Austin again. Feeds the puck forward for the Dragons. Keating. Puck's knocked forward. King back for the Aces. Uses the boards, rings it round. Parsons couldn't quite grab control of it, but it's on the stick of Wainwright. Wainwright to Austin. Back to Furnival.
Oh, he's got it.
Furnival, Parsons in the middle, winds up shot!
Oh, and you
And
can put
Bolwell
money.
again, oh! And that's
Here we go.
Parsons.
And the referee's pushing Parsons away.
Is Parsons going to the box?
No, he's not
No.
going in the box.
He's
He's just been ushered away by the official.
So was that Berry he was entangled with?
And the official's got his hand up. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the signal is there, but the officials have gone away for a discussion in the corner.
I don't think there'll be a penalty there as we've got a face-off in the Aces zone. Left-hand side of Bolwell. Dragons win that. Parry feeds Jones. Jones back to Parry. Parry spins round his man. Goes behind, tries to find support. Finds somebody there.
It's in!
And Mark Lovell from such a tight angle. Well, it was an excellently worked goal, Gary.
Yeah, the Dragons picked that puck up, circled it round the back. Lovell managed to pick it up on the byline and then found a gap between Bolwell and the post and sorted it home. And it's extended the lead here tonight at the Den as the Dragons now have 3 and the Aces have 1. Can we see the Aces try and claw something back late in this third period?
Well, we'll wait for the puck to drop and it does so. It's the Aces that win it immediately. If I was a gambling man, Gary, I'd want to make sure I was holding all the cards.
What, all the Aces?
All the Aces.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And there's still a time in this, still half a period of hockey to play.
Well, like I said before, Ben, at the moment, the ice is certainly tilting in favour of the Dragons. The fans are certainly getting behind them. But needless to say, there's quite a few Aces fans here as well tonight.
Well, of course, Altrincham just a short drive away from this Deeside rink.
24.
And the,
Oh, what
well,
a shot!
on your head, girl.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think any good footballer would have been proud of that header as she flicked it on over the top, right over the net. I don't even think she knows what happened. Excellent shot there, and Bolwell just took it in her stride.
So, face off to the left of Bolwell. He's immediately won by the Dragons, but Aces able to reel that in. Dragons regain possession. Big shot comes in, deflected off the stick of a Aces player. They try and find net.
Well cut out.
And Morgan reads it and steps into that pass lane. Now, Jones, head up, finds a man skating out. Pushed over to Keating. Chris Keating laid back off into the middle for Parsons. That was a bit of a soft one, straight into the chest of Bolwell.
It's still in.
And again, put it back in.
Oh!
It takes blood in the water now.
Yeah, Parsons fed that across. No one there to pick it up.
Dickinson gingerly skates up to that blue line, realises there's no support, turns back. King skates his way through, but he's been intercepted. And now Keating uses the boards, goes round Greaves. Ryan Jones back behind his own net. Pressure coming from Bain, uses his defensive man in the corner. Finds Furnival in centre ice. He's got Wigglesworth there. Takes it in by himself. Simon Furnival turns round, tries to go through the slot. It's come off the post behind the Aces net, and Bolwell for a split second lost track of that. Lovell powerhouses his way through 2 men. Holland uses the time to get there. Parry picks a loose puck up. Tries to go around the back of the net, does so. Finds Lovell. Lovell's got Wainwright in support, but he feeds it back to Parry. Parry in the corner.
Aces are doing that little 3-man defence there. One hanging back on the goal, and it seems to be doing them well at the moment.
And Greaves just gains control of that, takes it off Parry, tries to turn him. Bain loses the puck to Parry. Parry skates that back in, Wigglesworth and Lovell up there as well with him.
Oh, and Bain's just knocked it off his own man.
Parry, it just trickled over the net.
Yeah, Bain knocked it away from his own man and caused that problem then.
And now trying to find Greaves, but there's nobody home. 14:02 in this third period gone. Quick line change there for the Dragons. Find Chris Jones. Jones.
Bit of frustration setting in now with the Aces, I think.
He's got support up forward in the form of Chappell, knocks it on himself, puts his head down and goes. Jones just feeds that out and get in front. And Paul Bolwell seen a lot of traffic out in front of the crease. And we've got ourselves, that's going to be an icing call.
Well, some of the faces on the Aces players looking a little bit dejected. The fact that they were one apiece coming into this third period. Now they find themselves 2 goals down, but they're still in this.
Face-off won by Chappell, but it's pushed forward behind the Aces goal. They're able to clear it out with Dickinson. Dickinson tries to get his head up. It's up and onto the bench of the Dragons and out of play. And timeout coming from the Aces. So the Aces calling a timeout. Surely there's a key tactic they want to go over here. And now we can see.
Well, both teams getting instructions there. The Aces coach just telling them they need to get back into this game, Ben. The frustration, there's obviously a diagram there telling them what they need to do. They've got the capability, though, to get this done. Dragons, on the other hand, Gary Shaw must be happy that his guys are performing well.
Yeah, I can imagine so, Gary, but we also know, and he said this himself in the previous show of Drop the Puck, complacency is one of the biggest downfalls of the Dragons. What they need to do now is stay switched on for this next 5 minutes and make sure they concede no other penalties, because they need every man on the ice, and make sure they retain the lead as well.
Well, if I was Gary Shaw, the thing I'd be saying is, guys, you need to keep that puck in the Aces end of the ring and don't let him come up this end.
So, face-off is quickly won by the Aces, and they turn and look to go. There's a loose stick on the ice. It's Dunford. Dunford skates that in. It's bobbled up behind the net. Immediately, major pace. Step up. And again, down from Armstrong. The shot from Lashek. And it's almost as if they're playing a fresh set of legs now as Dunford and Ness and Lashek. They're all really throwing themselves around. Dragons forced to quickly inject themselves into that and get over there. And now Williams tries to play off the board, can't. Shot goes behind Dragons' net. Jones able to find teammates against the boards. Gone back. Chris Jones now behind his own net. 15:32 in this third period. Puck's bobbled up.
Oh, of course it should have. Oh,
Bain and Chappell tied up with the sticks there. Shot comes.
And it just misses that. To Dickinson going for that top corner.
And great dump and clear there, allowing the Dragons a respite. Again, pushed forward for Bain. Skated into the corner is Furnival. Furnival gets there first, keeps the pace up, sees that puck round. And we've got ourselves a call, possibly. Oh, referee's blowing a whistle. Yeah, and that's going to be on Morgan. And that's an interference call on Morgan. So Morgan's gone to the box. And now exactly what we said we didn't want to happen has, and the Dragons have found themselves...
Oh, straight away.
Found themselves defending a penalty.
Well, King saw an opportunity there and then he slotted that away.
So now the Dragons having to defend the penalty on Morgan for the next 2 minutes. 5-on-4, Dickinson picks that puck up, centre ice, skates it through. Turned around, finds a man in the form of Nurse, can't quite control it, King.
Parsons is missing the stick as well at the moment.
You know, King trying to find a space, finds Dickinson, Dickinson goes back to King. Shot comes in, Armstrong's down. Furnival on the puck, clears it out, uses the plexi. And it is an interference call on Morgan, confirmed there by the match official. Now Parry plays it around King, plays it back in. Parsons stick just pushed to one side as the Dragons turn it round, tries to go backhand. And again, second bite of the cherry.
Oh, Wigglesworth just misses it. Gone over the top.
And the Dragons certainly keeping the penalty killed by shorthand opportunities here. You'd think they were on the power play as 3 aces come over. And Parry's doing amazing to keep that tied up on the board to just chew this clock up.
Well,
and there's the official finally blowing it.
Yeah, just over 20 seconds, 21 seconds remaining in that penalty, and the Dragons could ride this out and leave them with just under 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes, sorry, of this third period to see out and take the win. But I think the Aces still want to have a chance here.
So we're going to go for a face-off and neutral ice. There'll be Chappell and Gilbert go for it. It's won by the Aces. Altrincham skate that forward with Cade King. King tries to play it off the board, can't get round Lovell. Lovell puts his stick all over that and sends it right back down the other end. So much so it's gone to the opposite corner of the ring. Bain.
Dragons back to full strength.
And there's the Dragons back to full strength, as you can hear.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the game. Can the Aces grab one back?
Greaves and Jones into the corner. Jones can't quite clear it out. Dangerous position. Big shot comes in, it's up and over. Gary, the Aces desperately keeping the pressure up. Do they stand a chance?
Well, you can score quickly in this game, as we know, but I've got to be honest with you, it's just over 1 minute and a half remaining. I can't see them getting 2 to tie it up.
Holland with the puck for the Aces after that face-off win. Puck goes straight across the crease. Could have been easily turned in, but there's no one there to get a stick on it for Altrincham. Keating now plays the puck out to Wainwright. Back to Austin. Forward check coming from Dunford. Knocked it forward. Dumped in, chased down back into the corner by Parsons. Regains possession. Great poke check and taken away there. And now Austin looks to turn and go again. Turns his man round. Chewing the clock up, and you can imagine. And the final minute of this game, the Dragons feel like they've bagged the 3 points. They just need to see it out, and as you can see, Gary, not allowing the Aces any possession at all, just passing it around themselves, chewing that clock up. Wainwright just dumps it forward. Holland skates back, but I think it's a pretty much done deal.
Yeah, it was an uphill climb for the Aces to try and grab those 2 back.
Keating grabs it, nail in the coffin from the Dragons.
Oh!
No, Furnival picks on the loose puck though. Skated back down as we enter the final 15 seconds. It's going to be Wainwright. Gingerly chips that in. Holland allows Parsons inside. Parsons pins it up against the boards. That's all he needs to do, hold it for the 4 seconds. The puck's cleared out though. And there's the buzzer. There's the game for the Dragons. It was a vital win that they desperately needed. Hard earned though. The Aces didn't let up.
No, you've got to give it to the Aces. I mean, yeah, certainly they've gave a great battle, but the one person that stood out throughout this game for me, regardless of the results, Bolwell in that net for the Aces. A fantastic performance by that girl, and she has certainly proved her worthiness in this game.
Well, I can pretty much say, and not only because it's the position she's playing, but if it wasn't for Samantha Bolwell tonight, that result would have been a hell of a lot different. She played out an absolute blinder, and she shouldn't let her head sink. There were some really lucky goals that were scored, especially the Austin power play goal. That was a peach, but
she certainly got my person of the match, should we say, being politically correct. But yeah, outstanding performance by Bolwell, even though the result didn't go her way. But the Dragons have got to be happy. They're continuing this winning streak that they seem to have at the moment. So they took the scalp of the whole Jets last night, and the week before that, of course, Telford Tigers 2 team. both games on the road, and they've come home and they've continued that form by putting away a win against the Altrincham Aces. They've got to feel good.
Well, yeah, full point weekend for the Dragons. It's what they needed in this run up to Christmas and that elusive Christmas break.
But what can the Aces do to turn things around? They seem to be in a rut at the moment. They can't get out of, and if they carry on the way they are, they're going to end up finding themselves in that cellar fight coming into the Christmas break. They don't want to find themselves there. Anyway, without further ado, I think it's been a great result here with the Dragons winning 3-1 over the Aces. We're going to have a quick break with our friends from Dynamo Sports.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
I'm here with captain of the Altrincham Aces, Jake Nurse. Jake, unfortunate results for the weekend for the Aces across the board.
Yeah, we had a disappointing performance yesterday against Sheffield. Really struggled even in our own rink. So leading up to the game today against Deeside, we saw they won last night. We knew it was going to be a challenge. We're 4 players short. We come away from that pretty proud, to be honest. I think it was a really good game, a battle up throughout. Deeside obviously had the legs in the third and took the game, but we need to be a little bit more clinical with our chances. Both goalies were good tonight.
So would you say that was literally the turning point? The gas tank was starting to run out by the end of the third?
Yeah, obviously both teams have played 6 periods of hockey, but big ice, Deeside are good on their own rink. I felt like we were battling with them. Like I say, pretty proud to come away after battling like that. We've had a few unfortunate performances, a few losses against the top 4. So yeah, obviously we're disappointed to lose that game, but it was a good performance from Deeside.
So looking ahead, obviously for Altrincham, you've got 2 tough fixtures. First, Coventry on the road, and then you're welcoming the Bradford Bulldogs at home, who seem to be in real good form at the moment. What's going to be the game plan going in there?
Yeah, it's a really competitive league this season. There's a lot of teams taking points off each other. Obviously Coventry's going to be a really tough game on the road. We had a good performance against them at home where we took the points, so we're hoping to do the same again. And Bradford are just one of those teams. For every team in the league, they always perform. They're always like a gritty, tough team to play. So obviously we're hoping to bounce back and get out of this losing skid that we're in at the moment. So that's the plan, to go in and work hard like we did tonight, and hopefully to come out with the honours.
And just very quickly, an outstanding performance in the net tonight for Samantha Bolwell, which took MVP as well. What's your personal opinion there as captain?
She was fantastic. I feel like we let her down a bit in that third period. She kept us in the game at points, and I think Deeside's keeper did the same. Both goalies had good performances. Sam's a great shot stopper, great across the net, and she stood on her head tonight. In my opinion, we let her down a bit in our own zone.
Well, the next time we run into you, Jake, will be at your own rink as we come and visit as Altrincham take on Bradford. So we wish you luck in the future, and we'll catch you again soon.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you there.
And with captain of the Deeside Dragons, James Parsons. James, full point weekend for the Dragons. How do you feel?
It's fantastic. We've had a difficult start to the season. And starting last week and onto this weekend, everything's starting to click for us now, and it's great.
So as you said there, momentum building with the Telford win. It's rolled on. You took the points this weekend away against Hull first. The Dragons seem to be winning on the road a lot more. What's going on there?
I'm just all sticking together. It's last night was a difficult game against Hull, and we just grinded out the victory in the end, and ended up being quite comfortable in the end.
Now the turning point was quite easily to pick out there. It was between the second and third period. Dragons came out looking like a whole different team. What was said in the locker room? Stay
out of the penalty box. The second period you must have been on the penalty kill for 17 minutes. And then it just said just stay out of the box, and we'll beat them 5-on-5. That's what happened.
Now you're obviously going to want to keep this momentum rolling at the moment. You face the Widnes Wild next weekend. It's been a while since the Dragons and the Wild met. How do you feel about this one?
It's always good playing against the Wild, so we're all looking forward to it.
Right, well, we'll hopefully catch you next week, James, and good luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a close affair, and I said it during commentary, I didn't think it was going to be like it was. And that first period, Ben, for me, 1-0 to the Aces. They looked quite promising, they looked quite strong, and it looked like the Dragons were faltering.
I think what the Aces did was came out and played a very clever game plan, and that was take it to the Dragons, try and catch them off guard early with a quick sucker punch, and then keep on top of the pressure. Unfortunately though, as we heard in the interviews there, Jake Nurse, bus legs played a big part of it, and the gas tank was just too much for them. They slowly emptied. But I think part of it as well, and we've spoken to Gary Shaw in the past, complacency with the Dragons. They were at home, they were on the road, from the road win last night. They had that momentum, they had a good crowd behind them. I think they thought they'd already won this, to be fair, because they sat above the Aces, and Altrincham gave them a good battle.
Well, you say bus legs for Altrincham Aces, and I've got to disagree there, because they're just up the road. They were at home last night. There was nothing stopping them from making the effort tonight, and I thought in that first period they looked very, very promising. And going in that period break 1-0 up, I thought we're in for a game here tonight. But then straight away that second period, Dragons come out, all guns blazing, and Austin fires that shot from the blue line.
That right there is what caught Aces off guard. I think up to that point they were 100% assured that Bolwell was being a bit of a brick wall tonight, that she was letting nothing in. I think they thought as long as they could keep the Dragons on the penalty kill, because at that point they'd gone in their favour, they were fine, and then slowly but surely they let it slip. And I think there was too much special teams. They couldn't get themselves organised quick enough from couldn't get the puck from under themselves a few times. They let the Dragons get in on silly passes and clear it out, and it meant that way they had to go back on the ice and reset and come again, and it was always giving the Dragons time to breathe. And I think that was what it was, because there was a lot of dump and chase. The Dragons were making them work tonight, and like you said, 6 periods of hockey, and it's just taking its toll on them.
Well, you say that they allowed the Dragons to breathe a little bit, but discipline again. The Dragons spent a lot of time in that second period in the penalty box. Yeah,
I think it was a total sum of 6 penalties or 5 penalties for almost 18 minutes, something like that. It was ridiculous. And you heard Captain James Parsons there, 18 minutes penalty kill is not what the Dragons want to be skating. So it was clear cut. Obviously Gary Shaw had grabbed them by the scruff of the neck in the locker room and said, right, that's it lads, no more, stay out the box, you can't afford it. And look what happened when he did. Goals come flying in from left, right and centre. Bolwell thought she was under a blitz, and obviously 1 or 2 got past her.
Well, of course, the end of that second period was all level, 1-1. And then I thought we were in for a real game, and then the Dragons just put their foot down and started to edge away with it with those 2 excellent goals.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you get all 5 skaters on the ice. You're able to start moving that puck around a lot more. Obviously, the 1 or 2 power plays they did gain were advantageous to them. But I think the long run was that turning point on that second period going into the third. I think the Dragons realised that the game was theirs. They actually stood a chance. They could take it, and in the home barn as well. And it had been a nice big point weekend, which it has been for them. It was theirs. It was all or nothing. They either took it or they lost out, and they stepped up and made the game.
Well, like you say, vital points there for the Dragons. That'll keep them in with the running coming up to that Christmas period, which is so vital for the teams. Aces are going to be licking their wounds a little bit, because they've got some tough games coming up.
Yeah, so as I said in the interviews with Jake Nurse, you've got the Coventry Blaze away first for the Altrincham Aces, which is always going to be a tough battle, but I think the attention's got to turn to an episode of the future of Drop the Puck, which is the Altrincham Aces Bradford Bulldogs. And Bradford this year are a complete different kettle of fish to what we've seen previously. They're playing really nice hockey, very fast paced. Yes, it's aggressive, but they've managed to tone it down enough where they're staying out the box and they're keeping players on the ice, and I think that's going to be a real test for Altrincham.
Other than Widnes, who seem to be riding on a high at the moment, would you agree that teams are pinching wins off each other, and at the moment it's anybody's game coming into this run up to Christmas?
I wouldn't. To be fair, you've got that the sort of top 2 or 3 teams that seem to be pinching amongst themselves, and obviously taking the expected wins from down below. But it's the interest really this year is that mid-pack fight. That's what really the fans are really looking for. One week, you know, you're winning 6-1. The next week, you've been battered 5-2, and it's just like, what can happen in the space of 24 hours sometimes. I don't know. We've always said it's a hotbed of action, the Laidler. But this season, there's something about it that just seems like everybody's gunning for everybody else.
Do you not agree, though? Because the teams are so close, it's just a couple of wins, and then suddenly you're in that 4th spot, 3rd spot, pinching wins off other teams at the top, like the Dragons did, where they went to Hull and took them in their own barn. It shows that teams on the right nights are capable of taking these top guys. So teams like Widnes have really got to watch out. Oh yeah, God,
Widnes cannot at any point sit back and say, do you know what, lads, we're playing so-and-so tonight. It's in the bag already. Complacency is one of the biggest killers in sport. We've seen it with the Dragons, we've seen it with the Aces, we've seen it with Telford. If you go in with the wrong mindset, thinking you've already got the game in the bag, and you don't give out 110%, it's going to come back and bite you in the backside. And I think that the likes of Widnes and Telford and Hull and all those guys, and Bradford, all need to watch the back, because yeah, you might be riding high at the moment, but we're only at the halfway point.
Well, there you have it. Dragons take a 3-1 win tonight over the Altrincham Aces. Makes an interesting view of the league. Join us again for the next episode on Drop the Puck. I've been Gary Lee.
I've been Ben Lee.
Good night.